Hi, I have been delaying this video. Uh, One reason is because I wanted to make sure I have the right way to say what I'm going to say in this video, and make sure that, like, my full message gets across, not just parts of it, and having more questions than anything else. But I've been delaying it and delaying it and delaying it and delaying it, and it doesn't take me any closer to what this message is about in the first place. So I'm just going to say it, and if there's questions, there's questions, and hopefully I can put forth the message that I want to, and have it be a conversation that we can have ongoing until that time happens. But anyway, easiest way to say this is our team is, in a couple weeks, they'll be graduating from a 40-week fellowship. And some of you guys have heard that they're doing this thing, and it's 40 weeks long, and they're in kind of school. But I don't think very many of you have an idea of how impactful what they're doing is, and what level of education they're going through right now. So I like to consider this, I went through this a couple years ago, and I like to consider this a kind of a graduate level program about movement, about human biomechanics, and about what happens to the body when it gets hurt, what happens to the body that may cause pain, and how you can do what we do in a way that not only makes you stronger, but makes you want to move more because you feel better about moving, and your body feels better when it moves. That's an easy way to explain it. So I would argue that what they're going through is things that is an education that a lot of physical therapists go through, and a lot of physical therapists don't go through it, because not that it goes against what they think, but it is a different path of learning and education that one involves logic and involves biomechanical truths, and a thinking or a thought process that isn't just look at this book, this is what it tells you, you're on the table, this is what muscles do. It says, no, on Earth with gravity and ground reaction forces, here's what the body does when all those things play a part. Here's what the body does when your mind plays a part. Here's what the body does when there's apprehension. Here's what the body does when you want to perform better. And they're going through a 40-week program that encapsulates all of these things. And they come out of it with a much better understanding. It's almost like an awakening of what really happens in performance, and what really happens when you train, what really happens when you lunge, what really happens when you run, what really happens when you throw. And I know that this is, this might be information that you don't care about, but I really want to talk about it, because it's important to know, like, what level of coaches you guys are getting at the gym, where you can go to, you have your choice of many different gyms in Las Vegas. And I truly believe that what these guys are going through and what they are learning and who they are becoming is the absolute best coaches Las Vegas has to offer. And I will say that over and over and over again, from an education standpoint, from a knowledge perspective, you're not going to get people that are better than our people. You just won't. And I will go ahead and say, like, yeah, challenge me on that. I just don't think that other people put in the time and put in the effort and put in the hours to continuously become better like our coaches do. I just don't see it. And so with that being said, I'm really proud of every single one of these guys. And if you see them and you see this and you see them, I really want you to take the time to congratulate them on pursuing what they're doing. Because most coaches, most trainers will do the bare minimum. They'll do the bare minimum to continue to coach. And they'll just let their experience be the thing that allows them to be like, well, I've been coaching for 20 years. Well, you've been coaching for 20 years doing what? Learning what? Right? Well, the same thing for 20 years. Or have you learned and decided, well, the stuff that I did 15 years ago isn't exactly what I would do now because of what I've learned. And I would say that's my case. Like the stuff that I did 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, isn't exactly the same stuff that I would do now, right? I've learned a lot over that time, and these guys have learned a lot, even just over the last 40 weeks, right? Going through this program through the Gray Institute that they're going through, I've watched them grow over the last, 40 weeks. Over the last year. It's basically been a year-long program where they've got, anywhere from like 4 to 10 hours a week of extra learning. They're not getting paid for. They're not getting paid to learn that, right? And they chose to take on another small part-time job and become a student every week for the last 40 weeks. And they've all excelled at it. And it's incredible to see who they become from a trainer or a coach through confidence, through education, having strategies for their people, for their clients, for the groups that we teach, and just watching them apply what they're learning day to day. And it is something that I think needs to be applauded, because most coaches, most trainers in Las Vegas, and I would say across the country, do not further their education. They're not lifelong learners where they look at training and they're like, well, I need to know more. They don't do that. They might grab some things off of Instagram or learn, learn some tactics or exercises because they saw a cool video on Instagram, but they haven't dove in and decided to say, nope, I need to know more about that thing. And I'm going to invest my time and effort into knowing more about that thing. So that's just my, 7 minutes long now, brag about the coaches that we have. So with that being said, why I'm even telling you this is they've accomplished a pretty big feat. And I would put them up against any other coaches in this city. I would put them up against any other coaches in the country. And that's what's going to happen. The reason I'm making this video, and this is where I'm like, okay, what do I say here? The reason I'm making this video is because I want them to be featured in this gym because they deserve that. They deserve to be the go-to people. When you have a performance issue, when you want to be better at something, you should be going to them. Right? When you have a pain or some sort of chronic thing, or your shoulder's been bothering you, or your lower back is hurting, or you've got this knee thing, you should go to them. You should point to them, Orlando or Galen or Rebecca or Molly or Callan or Mark. You should go to these guys. And I want to bring more and more people in here to see them. And so because of that reason, I am kind of stepping back from the training side of it. And I've been trying to do this for years, and I guess my heart and my brain and, who I am didn't see that as being a possibility before. But now I think the timing is just perfect for us, for me to step back from training as much, and putting more of my efforts into getting our community to understand what it is that we're doing in here. We're not just working people out. We're trying to give people a health solution that allows people to just live better lives, not just look better, but just fundamentally live better lives. And we're going to do that through the process of movement. We're going to do that through the process of coaching people on nutrition. We're going to do that through the process of recovery methods. And all of these things are things that these people, these coaches, are experts at now. I would argue that I wouldn't look anywhere else for this. Like they've got rid of the fluff and they just know what to do. And I want more people to know that they know what to do. And so that's why I'm kind of stepping back a little bit, and I'm trying to get more into the community and more into the city and more into workshops and more into networking and more into getting more people involved in what Tony Cress Training Center is and what we've always meant to be. The idea, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, but our LLC is Making Humans Better. And that is fundamentally what we want to do. We want to make humans better in a way that allows people to live better, allows people to play better, allows people to function better, allows people to live better. I said live better already. Allows people to have better relationships with people around them, allows them to have a better mindset about life. And that's what we're trying to do. And I think my time is served the best when I get outside of the gym and I have conversations that allow me to talk about that. And so with that being said, I'm just going to kind of wrap this up in a way that makes sense. But I'm still going to be doing some training. And with that being said, I'm still going to allow people to kind of purchase training packages until the end of November. And I will, what's the word I'm looking for? I will promise? No, I will. What is the word I'm looking for? I will let those things happen. Why can't I think of the word? Honor. I will honor. That's the word I'm looking for. I will honor those packages until they run out, until they expire. And when they expire, and that's kind of when I will set myself off in the sunset to do these other things. Terrible. But yeah, I will honor those packages until they are done, right? Until they've run out, or until they expire. And once that happens, I will minimize my training load per week. And I will, if there are people that would like to continue training through those sessions, we'll kind of find the right person for them to transition into. Because again, at this point in time, I truly believe any one of our coaches could take any one of my clients and have success with them. And that's what I want to have happen. I want to be a conduit to matching people up with the right coach to give them the success that they're looking for. And I want to be the conduit to, outside of here, outside of the walls and windows of TCTC, bringing people into that light of like, oh, there's probably more to health and wellness than just doing cardio. There's probably more to health and wellness than just sitting on machines and pushing. There's probably more to health and wellness than just, making sure I stretch. There's probably more to health and wellness than just being in pain all the time. I want to spread that word, and I think I've exhausted what I can do inside the gym, and I need to start stepping outside the gym to do it. And I think once that happens, we can start to really, really express what Tony Cress Training Center is about, and really express how we're trying to make humans better, and like spread that love and get the people in here who need to be in here, who understand that there's more to it than what they're being fed on the internet and what they're being fed through marketing. So I think this is a good place to wrap this up. I'm sure I've missed 100 things that I wanted to say about this. But this is my intro. I'm sure I'm going to be giving more information as it goes because I forgot to say this or I forgot to say that as the weeks go by. At the beginning of November, we're going to be in Michigan celebrating these guys' graduation from the mentorship program, from the fellowship. And that's going to be a great time. And I'm just extremely proud of where we're at as a facility and like the team that we've assembled. And I know that if I had to leave, I'm leaving the gym in good hands. Doesn't mean I'm gone by any means. I'm still going to be a massively active part of the gym, and my little anal things that bother me in the gym are probably always going to bother me. But I leave this in good hands. Yeah, I think that's the final statement I want to make is I'm stepping a little further away from the gym because the timing is perfect and we finally have it. What I consider we finally have it right. We finally have a great opportunity to do what we need to do to spread the word of making humans better. And again, I'm extremely proud of all the coaches that we have in the gym, and you guys are in good hands. And I'll still be around, right? I'll still be in the gym. I'll still be making some special cases and still be doing some things. But you may see less and less of me and more of them featured in that day-to-day experience of Tony Cress Training Center. So, without further ado, I bid you adieu.